What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Omen back with another YouTube video, and we're doing the What If Asta Was Born with the White Flame Magic Part 2. I'm gonna be putting out more What Ifs pretty soon because the next What If I'm working on right now is the What If Goku landed at Capsule Corp, and I already got the script pretty much written out already. I just have to record it and edit it and all that. But with further ado, let's get into this What If. After the Magic Knights exam trials ends, the captains begin to choose who they want on their squad. The captain chooses who they did in the original, but when it comes to Asta's turn, all hands get risen. And Fulgalion tells the other captains that they should just all put their hands down because Asta is his nephew and he's a Crimson Lion at heart. As he continues to gloat about Asta, he hears Asta say, "I want to join the Black Bulls." Fulgalion is left with a blank expression on his face, and the Golden Dawn captain lets out a little chuckle. Asta tells Fulgalion, "Sorry, uncle, but I don't want to follow the family tradition." Funeral opens up a portal to the Black Bulls hideout, and Captain Yami tells Asta, "Welcome to the Black Bulls, kid." Asta looks at the chaos around the hideout, and he smiles because nobody here is acting like a stuck-up noble. Captain Yami screams out to the rest of the squad, "Hey, we have a new member." The rest of the squad looks at Asta, and they all start to welcome him and tell him he looks super strong. Luke tells Asta he looks super strong and then asks him, "Let's fight." Asta says, "Bring it on." Magnus screams out, "Wait! We have to initiate the newbie so he can earn his Black Bull's robe." When they go outside, Captain Yami tells Luke to help Magma with this, and Luke rushes towards Magna's side, and they both get into a fighting stance before they pull out their grimoires. Asta pulls out his grimoire and folds his arm, and then closes his eyes. Magna hits fireballs towards Asta, and Luke dashes towards Asta with a lightning fist. As their attacks near Asta, Asta says, "Blazing Pillar," and a huge white flame falls out of the sky in an instant. Before Magna and Luke could dodge out of the way, Noel watches on from the window and shocked at Asta's display of power. The rest of the Black Bulls beside Yami looks on in shock also and witnesses that Asta has a 4-leaf grimoire. Yami laughs out loud and tells Asta, "Kid, you're amazing!" Luke and Magna is covered in burns and soot. Vanessa walks over to Asta to create his Black Bull's robe around him and invites him to have a drink. Asta tells her, "No, thank you." Then walks over to Captain Yami to ask him where's his room. Yami shows Asta where it is, and Asta does 1,000 push-ups before going to sleep. The next day, Magnus shows Asta where everything is and gives him the tour like he did in the original. And then they come across Noel, and Asta asks Noel, "Hey, have you gained control over your crazy power yet?" Magnus sees Noel's expression. "Hey, can we see your power?" Asta also says, "Yeah, show us how much you've grown." Noel thinks about this, and then she tries to form a water bubble out of her wand and shoots it outside. But then, when she shoots the water ball, it hits a wall. Asta notices the sad expression on Noel's face as she fails to control her magic. "You just need a little guidance. We all can go through something like this if we had nobody there to help us. Your power is something that nobody should ignore because it is quite powerful. You just need to gain a little more confidence whenever you use it, and block out all the negative comments or thoughts that you may hear." A tear falls down Noel's eyes as Asta say this because this is the first time someone has actually gave her considerate words that can help her out. Asta and Magma proceeds on that tour. Noel goes outside the train. She creates a huge water ball like she does in the original, but instead of Asta getting thrown by Yami and cutting the water ball, he goes and flies towards it, and then he inspects the bubble. And he thinks to himself, "Maybe I can create a move just like this." Then he burns the entire thing into steam. Noel falls out of the air, and the rest of the Black Bulls catches her so she won't hit the ground. Noel closes her eyes and ready for the bad comments, but they all tell her how amazing and powerful she is, and that they are glad to have another powerhouse on their team. Noel starts to cry, and the Black Bulls all hug her. Yami looks in the sky at Asta. "Hey, kid, I have a mission that you can go on." Asta raises his eyebrow at this. Asta, Magma, and Noel all go on this mission to Sassi Village, and this one Asta doesn't have a broom because remember at the beginning he burnt it to ashes. So he has to fly there. Noel has to get on Magnus' crazy cyclone, and once they all take off, Asta blasts off to the location. Magna tells Asta, "Hey, wait up!" as he follows behind Asta. When they all arrive to their one forest where they had to kill the boars, Magna tells Noel that they had to gather up some boars. Haha, good luck. This isn't a job for royals. Asta says, "Oh, these guys, I used to destroy them back when I was like 5. Asta shoots fire out of his fingers like a gun, and every boar in the area falls to their death. Magna stares at this and what just happened? and says, well, that was fast. As they walk towards the village with the boars, Asta feels a considerable amount of mana coming from the village, so he starts running towards the village and tells Magna and Noel to hurry up. Once they get there, Magna asks, where's the chief? But the little kid from the original tell Magna he's dead. Personally, I like the backstory that Magna had at that village. It was a kind of a wild child. Crazy cyclone that he had also was pretty cool. That made things a little more funnier. Back to the story. Asta looks directly at Heath, and he says, are you the one that has caused all this? He says, you're all wasting my time. And he shoots out ice shards at them. Asta takes this time to try out the move he's been practicing. Eminence Dome. The spirit of white flames with griffins flying around and begins to form around him, Magma, and Noel. Noel looks at this fear in amazement as she thinks to herself, this is what I've been trying to create. Asta tells Noel and Magna to protect the villagers. Magna says, no, I'm going to help you fight. It's only right that I pitch in and help this place. Asta smirks and tells Magna, all right, but don't be crying if you end up on fire. Magna takes out his bat from his grimoire and heats fireballs towards Heath's henchmen. It's a blast towards Heath, and they commence hand-to-hand combat. Asta creates a fire sword during this fight, and Heath creates an ice sword, and they go toe-to-toe with each other, crossing blades. Asta swings his sword at Heath's head, but Heath dodges out the way. And as soon as he gets out the way, Asta says, got you. As he blasts white flames towards Heath, he tries to create ice shields around himself, but he can't because of the heat that's coming off Asta's fire. As the fight goes on, Asta begins to grow tired of this, so he yells, get the people out of here, and tells Noel to create the dome that he made before. I can't make that. It'll be too hard. Asta screams, believe in yourself. You're more than capable. Noel begins to gain more confidence, and she rallies up the villagers, and they all run away a good distance, and she creates the dome like in the original. Asta smiles at this. Hey, Magna, I'm going to finish this already. Asta flies into the air, holds out his hand, and as he holds out his hand, a tiny spark of white flames appears in his palm. A fiery aura appears around his body, and he screams out, imminent detonation! As he shoots down a spark of flame and heat. It explodes, blowing away Heath and the rest of his henchmen. Magna wraps up the henchmen in flames as he did in the original, and like before, they all start to kill themselves. As they make their way to the hideout, Asta gets a bird on his head that keeps following him around. They all get there. Captain Yummy tells them that the Wizard King would like to see them. But before that, Asta asks for a little more missions, and he complete basic things that can get them more stars. Because in this one, he knows about the stars, the ranking system that the Black Knights have. So he tries to raise his squad stats so they won't be really looked down upon because he's on the team now. Since Asta's been there, they've gained 20 stars because of him, and Yummy praises him a lot because they can move up in the rankings. Finally, that they got some type of work done. They make their way into the city. Asta still meets that old lady, and he tells Julian that, this disguise isn't working well. Maybe we should try something different next time. After going throughout the city during that night, they return back to the castle. Well, not the castle, the hideout. And they all do their own thing until the next day when Asta tries to train the Black Bulls a little more because at this rate, they're too weak. And especially Noelle, she has no control over her magic, and he helps her gain more control. He also spars with Luck one-on-one because Luck has a lot of potential also, and he's pretty strong, and he's pretty fast. Asta tries to adapt to Luck's speed, and he adapts sooner than later than what Luck would have expected, and he starts to blast Luck away quicker than what he was doing at first. And they begin to all get a little stronger from this training. Asta doesn't really get stronger from this, but he does a little bit. Like, his defense gets a little better. But Luck and the others, they get absolutely stronger. Well, especially Noelle, she gains more control over her magic, and she has more, confidence in what she can do now. Asta still goes on more missions and just doing, basic things like it was before, gaining more and more stars and helping the Black Bulls out. Sooner than later, they're going to be above the green, whatever Jack's squad is called. They're going to be above them sooner than later. Still going that one mission into the dungeon, and then they all split up. But once they split up, Asta tells Luck to be careful and don't die. Luck runs off full speed, and this time when he fights the Ash guy, he has a little more strength, so he can stand to fight him a little more. So he doesn't really get away like he did before, but he still does, but not as easily as he did. Because his looks is a little more quicker, he's stronger, and yeah. As Noah and Asta goes their own way throughout the dungeon, they meet up with Yuno and his squad. And Mimosa sees Asta, and she blushes a little bit because she thinks Asta's pretty cute. But Asta notices this, and he kind of ignores it because he really doesn't, he doesn't care. But he thinks about going deeper into that and like later on in the story. I am gonna be doing like the ship with Asta and Mimosa because yeah, I think they'll have a pretty, like, I don't know, the relationship with them would be kind of cool. Asta tells hey crybaby, you're here too. Scout said Asta and tells him, what are you doing here? Don't call me that. Asta tells him, well, we were sent by the Wizard King to go on this mission. Cloud says, the Wizard King's just sending anybody now. They sent this brute in. Asta says, what was that?
I don't think an insignificant should ever speak in my presence like what you just did. Don't ever disrespect me in that manner ever again, or it will be you in ashes. As he raises his hand and forms a fireball in his hand pointed at Klaus. Klaus steps back in fear and tells Asta he didn't mean what he said and he was sorry. Noel grabs Asta back and holds him back and tells him, you don't have to do this. Calm down, Asta. Asta tells her, get off of me. You don't gotta hold me back for anything. I'm just proving a point here. Back with Luck, he's having a rough time fighting the Ash Mage. Because, at first he was putting up a good fight. And since he got stronger, he fought longer. But when it came to the end, he began to lose. Once the Ash guy was finna kill him, Asta appears out of nowhere and grabs Luck out of the way and shoots a flaming white ball at the Ash guy. Luck thinks about his life and every event that has transpired since the day he met Asta. He thanks Asta a lot for everything he's done for him, for all the help that he's given to Luck. Asta throws Luck to the side and tells him, get up. Go back with Noel and chill for a bit. I got this here. The Ash guy starts to run away because Asta starts to charge up his flames and starts to shoot a barrage of fireballs at the Ash Mage. As he tries to run away and dash off like he did in the original, Asta starts to charge up an Eminence beam. And he shoots it directly at the Ash Mage before he leaves. And the Ash Mage flies out of the dungeon with the Asta beam. And after that, nobody really knows what happened to that guy. He probably died. But they all go back with the group. And Asta and, jokes around for a bit. And that's when Mars appears and tries to shoot a diamond at Yuno's head, killing him instantly. Asta forms an Eminence dome around him and Yuno says, I didn't need your help. I knew he was coming. Asta says, sure, dead man. Yuno grits his teeth and breaks out of Asta dome, going to charge at Mars with wind blades at his side to stab him in his head to kill him for what he just did to him. But Mars quickly dismantles and tells him, get out of my way, you peasant, and kicks him in his face and shoots him with the diamond blast. Asta laughs at this. Ha! Weakling, get out of the way, it's my turn now. Mars then tells Asta, your power is nothing compared to mine. Whatever you have to fight against me will not work and you will die here. Asta engulfs his whole body in white flames and he starts to laugh. You think those pretty diamonds will kill me? You're weak. I don't even think you will even lay a scratch on me, Diamond Man. This infuriates Mars. He starts to build the diamond golem as he did in the original, way before they could even fight. He's just that mad because Asta talks that much shit. Once he builds the diamond golem, he starts to shoot diamonds at Asta, and Asta melts away every diamond. Asta puts his hands together and screams out loud, Inferno Wave! As a huge white wall of fire rushes towards Mars, engulfing his whole golem as it all melts. Asta runs towards him and kicks him in his face and stomps his head in the ground and tells him, surrender or you will die here. Mars shoots his last diamond blast at Mimosa, and Asta runs towards her and holds out his hands and forms a dome around him and her. Mimosa grabs onto Asta's robe and she hugs him and tells him, thank you for saving me. I thought I almost died there. Asta blushes and he tells her, no problem. Laughs at this and tells him, you simp. Mars gets away because of this, and they all go into the treasure place as they did before. And this is when will get his wind spirit and Asta will find a book, but a really dirty one. And as he opens the book begins to turn all red and demonic-like, and a huge sword comes out of it that only Asta can wield. And this is where I'll be ending off What If Asta Was Born with White Flame Magic, Part 2. Like, comment, and subscribe.